Okay, so today we are going to look at Blue Salt 15. Now last week you were looking at words that added I-O-N. Okay, so you're looking at words like collect, and then you were adding I-O-N, and it would make a word like collection. So hopefully you observe the kt, collect, turned into a sh sound here. So the T-I-O-N is known for its shun sound, so collection. So suddenly it's not CT saying kt, it's actually, now you've got this shun sound. So hopefully you observed that in your words, and it also was true. If you say discuss, so you had this double S, so discuss, and then that becomes discussion. So we have the shun, so shun as T-I-O-N or S-I-O-N. So it's really the I-O-N is being added to these words, but it's like the T and the S become part of the I-O-N, you get this shun sound. So collect and collection, discuss, discussion. So we lose the S and the kt. Okay, so what does I-O-N mean? What does it mean when you add I-O-N to a word? Well, it actually means the act or the result of the base word. So if you collect, you'll end up, if you collect, you'll end up with a collection. So it's sort of what you end up with. What about if you discuss? Well, if you discuss things, you're going to end up with a discussion. So we're going from verb to noun because we're going from an action to a thing. I'm just trying to look. Oh, here, subtract. So if you subtract one number from the other, you end up with a subtraction. Okay, so that is the power of the I-O-N. And we're going to be looking at I-O-N today again, but we're also going to be looking at I-A-N and the difference. Even though they sound very similar, they're actually different. So that was just a little bit of a recap on last week, so I didn't do a video for you last week. Now for this week, we're going to be looking at I-O-N and I-A-N. Okay, so this is for your notes. So I-O-N, when added to a word, this is the result. E.g., collect, results in a collection. Okay, so when you add I-O-N, that's what you end up with. Okay, what do you end up with when you add I-A-N? I-A-N prefers adding I-A-N makes the word into the person or specialist who does something. E.g., magic goes to magician. So see we've added IAN, and suddenly we've gone from the thing that they do to the specialist who does that thing. So we are going to be looking at words that have ION and IAN. ION adding to words results in the product of doing the action. So if you collect, end up with a collection. If you express, you end up with an expression. IAN, you end up with like a magician or a musician or an electrician. So we're going to have a look at the words in your word list that have the IAN. There's actually fewer of these. So we're going to be looking at the base word and then what happens when we add ION, the base word, what happens when we add IAN. Okay, so we might just get straight into the word sort. Okay, so we've got base words and then we're going to add ION. And we've got some base words and we're going to add IAN. So we've got 4 columns. So we've got base T, we've got adding ION, we've got base IC. Oh wow, it's a loud fly in here. Adding ION. Might try and get that fly out of here. Come on, fly. No, it's attracted to those lights. Here we go. I'll turn the lights off and it'll go away. See? Worked a treat. Okay, sorry about that. Little fly break. Okay, getting back to our list. So, we've got base words adding ION, base words adding ION. Oh, mistake there. Got distracted by the fly. IAN. Okay, good. I'm going to choose a different colour pen actually. Right, so okay, so we have got words like invent, and then it becomes the invention. So this is the thing, that's the act. Digest. I'm trying to digest my lunch. Ah, you are talking about digestion. Dessert or desert, which really is not the it's about deserting someone, so it's not about eating a big creamy pudding. That's about deserting. So if you desert your friend at lunchtime, you would say, ah, they have experienced desertion. And we've got suggest. I would like to suggest to you. Ah, you've made a suggestion. So we keep the word exactly as the base word is, and we just add ION. So it's actually pretty simple from a spelling point of view. So really the biggest focus for you this week is actually these things like these double letters. Probably actually just your spelling of the base word is the most important, but it's also a lesson in actually understanding what happens when you add ION. So it's not just a spelling lesson. As we get into these more advanced spelling patterns, you're actually learning about what we're doing to the word and the meaning of the changes and the things that we can do to words. Adopt. I'd like to adopt a child. Ah, you have gone through an adoption. Insert. Distort. Just finish these as one more word. Prevent. Okay. So if I write the word insert here, insert, and then I put ION, suddenly I've got insertion. I'd like to insert a word into my sentence. Ah, you've done an insertion. Distort. distort, but suddenly we've got that shun. Prevention. Okay. Right, and we don't have as many words for this one, so I'll put our 4 base words down. We've got magic, music, electric, and clinic. Okay, so now we're adding IAN. So remember, this turns it into a noun. It turns it into the thing that results from doing this. And IAN turns it into the special person who does these things. So magic, magician. So this is the person now. Magic, IAN, magician. So hopefully this is going to really help you, because words like magician, you might be thinking, oh, do I add, is it shun? Because there's quite a few spellings of shun. Shun, shun, shun. Well, now you don't actually have to think through that process. You go, oh, a magician is just someone who does magic. So I'll write the word magic and add IAN. How do I spell musician? Sounds like a really complicated word, but I'm sure you know how to spell music. So if you write music and then you write IAN, now you've written the word musician. Electrician, again, sounds like a really tricky word, but electric is actually not a particularly tricky word because it's just exactly as it sounds. And then you add IAN. Clinician, someone who works in a clinic. Clinician. You've got mathematician, something like that. Sounds like such a tricky word, doesn't it? Mathematician. So mathematic. So you've got really complicated words. That's not actually in the word list, but I'm just showing you that you can actually spell really tricky words when you know these 2 rules. Actually really unlocks a lot of simple spelling for you. So really, as long as you know how to spell the base word, easy sailing. Okay, we'll have fun practicing these words, and I am hoping for 100% in all your spelling tests for these words, because once you've learnt that rule, you should get them all right. Okay, bye.